Welcome to week 12, the week of our final examination, our final week, and we're bringing this course to a close. I'm sort of a little bit sad. I'm going to miss working with you, seeing your discussions, case studies. It's been a very interesting 12 weeks for me, a very interesting course. I hope you have found the same. Regarding the final examination, that case study is ready to be downloaded, and you can upload the case study results, your analysis, and your findings and your recommendations by the due date, and then also make sure that if you have any question about it or anything like that, you could upload it directly by attachment to an email to my email address. Once you've emailed it, if you email it directly to me, make sure you look for an email receipt within about 12 hours. I always send a receipt back which says I have received it. Once you get that back, you'll know that I did get it. It didn't get lost. It didn't get caught into some filter. Next, I want to thank you, each and every one of you. I've enjoyed working with you this quarter. I wish each of you the best of every success in all that you do in your future, in your career, in your personal life, in all that you do. And remember that one of the things I have always done since I started teaching is that with each student I set a contract, and it's unconditional, and that is that I've committed to be available to you for any questions or recommendations or anything you might have in mind to get in touch with me for as long as you keep my email address or my phone number. This is a contract. This is a link that you and I have because of sharing, learning, and increasing our professional education together. Before we go, though, I want to have one closing note, like a footnote. I want to speak about communications. As a project manager, and especially in turning around projects, I have found that so much problems and miscommunications and errors and misunderstandings come because of our communications with each other, or the failure of communications or effective communications, all the way from chairing meetings to engaging those that are disengaged in the meeting, all the way to telephone calls, to emails. Some fundamentals about communications I want to share with you. And that is, when I start to communicate with you like these videos or my notes back or my comments to you, I have a thought, I have a vision, I have a picture, a spatial image in my head. And what I want to do is I want to communicate that to you. And so in one way or another, I'm encoding that, putting it into through some kind of communications media. And I want that to get to your head. I want you to have that exact same image in your head. If that occurs, then we have the fundamentals, the foundation of communications. But as one who is communicating, as one who is sending the message, we have to be reminded of the noise that can interfere with that communications, interfere with it, compromise it, make it misunderstood. And that can be because of the way we do it, by the words we choose, the vocabulary, the different meanings we have on wording because of our backgrounds, our culture, our training, our education. Or it can be because of a telephone line or the email or the wording we chose or however we do it. But the communications of that vision I have in my head to get that to you has got to overcome the noise. It's got to overcome the interference. It's got to overcome the disruptions. And that noise can be the fact that when you're receiving it, you're preoccupied with something else. You have something else going. You just had a bad phone call. You just had a bad meeting. Something went bad, or you're not paying full attention, or it's noisy where you are. And as for one who is doing the communicating, I've got to be cognizant of that. I've got to understand that. And I have to make sure that in one way or another there's some form of feedback, some form of information that comes back to me that tells me, yes, that vision, that view has been faithfully reproduced in the hearer's head, in the listener's head, in the person I'm trying to communicate with. And quite frankly, if any of these things fail, then I have failed. And as a project manager, I cannot fail to communicate. As an instructor, I cannot fail to communicate. I hope you keep this in mind and remember this, and as you're communicating, as you're leading, as you're speaking, as you're writing, as you're putting graphics together, as you're doing PowerPoint presentations, you remember that without effective and thorough and 100% communications, we are going to fail to achieve the goals and the objectives that we have set before us. I wish you all the very best now. You have a great day and a wonderful, wonderful career in the rest of your life.